Hey guys, some cool stuff has been let out. I was going crazy trying to figure out where are the big blockers, um, and some awesome articles came out. Um, where to even start? CoinDesk. I'll try to put the description. Hold on. This is CoinDesk. Even miners hate Bitcoin will want to mine it. Okay, so basically, this is going over the fact. Actually, let me go back to an awesome article given by Ryan X. Charles. This article is by John Stuart Millibit. Uh, Cashing out of Bitcoin 3 days ago, the network split in two. This article, it's worth 5 minutes to read it. It basically goes over what's going to happen starting 3 days to 10 days from now. This is where it really helps to know how the whole network works. I'm trying not to bore you to death, but in Satoshi's paper, it was built. He's well aware of wolves and greedy actors, and that's why he built the mining part of Bitcoin, where the whole idea is for them to ravage over each other, bite and claw, whatever, basically to out hack each other to make the network more secure. That did not make a lot of sense. So I'm going to give you some article. Okay, let me put it in perspective. Right here, the Bitcoin difficulty right now is at 860 billion hashes, let's say. The next difficulty is going to go up by 6%. Everybody understands percent, right? That's going to happen in 2.7 days. In 3 days, here's electricity. It's going to get much more expensive to mine normal Bitcoin. That's the way it's designed. The bar always increases. That being said, almost at the same time, let's go to CoinDance. I don't know if you've been following this, but the difficultiness for mining Bitcoin Cash has a special feature built in there. Remember, these guys are the ones who built the system originally. They altered it to have an emergency adjustment. So it's not every 10 days. Every 12 hours, if it's slow, like right now, this says it's still 160% more profitable to mine on the original chain. And as you can see, the blocks, they're not happening every 10 minutes. So right now, let's go to CoinDesk. How about that? That one is in English, kind of, for you guys. Okay, here's the blog that by the anonymous. These are the biggest players. Do you know what I'm saying? I have one word of advice for you. Get out while you can. I've been in Bitcoin since then, and I still. If you're not careful, this thing will be the biggest transfer of wealth in the history of Bitcoin. These people don't like Blockstream takeover, and they will fight for what they consider to be the real Bitcoin, aka Bitcoin Cash. The SegWit team doesn't have any money. That's a fact. Big blockers are the people with a lot of holdings. This includes Roger Ver, Craig Wright, John Wan, Galvin Andresen, and a lot more. These people combined have billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin, and they are angry, and they are ready to put their money where their mouths are. Want proof? Look at this. People vote with their money here, and you could see that the big money is in the pro big blocks and against Blockstream and SegWit. Another quote from a Chinese miner: "We have prepared $100 million in USD to kill the small fork of the core coin, no matter what the POW algorithm. SHA-256, Script 11, show me your money. We very much welcome a core coin change to the point of purchase system, or POS." These are all secret miners. What it points out here, not to bore you to death, is how much money is being lost on mining Bitcoin Cash right now. The miners, the secret miners who have been mining the BCC chain at a loss have been estimated to have spent tens of millions of dollars in hardware, $100,000 a day in electrical mining losses. These people don't fuck around, excuse me. Now, this is what's going to happen. The whales cannot dump all their Bitcoin at once. They need to do it slowly. While everyone dumps their BCC to buy more Bitcoin Classic, the whales are accumulating the BCC and the BT and selling the BTC. Despite all the people dumping, the long-term trend will be for the BCC, and the down will be BTC, because the whales simply have all the money. At a certain point, we will witness the flipping. Thanks to a faster difficulty adjustment, the higher market price, it will be more profitable to mine Bitcoin Cash than BTC. This is where the miners will hop in masses and abandon BTC, since BTC has no fast difficulty adjustment. See, remember, these guys are the ones that built it. They know all the flaws too and how to, anyways. The chain will be starved. Blocks will take hours to be found. The fees will go up, and the difficulty adjustment will take several months to slow down. At this point of no return, the BCC price will rise. BTC will keep falling to the ground. People will start calling BCC the real Bitcoin. You are sitting at the table of a high-stakes poker. These people are angry. We know that is true. They have a lot of money and a lot of Bitcoin. And they have a plan. They will crash Blockstream and SegWit into the ground. In the meantime, BCC will go to the moon. There's always two sides to a trade, and it's usually not a good idea to be on the side where all the idiots are. I don't care if you want to listen. I can just read this over, but these are all facts. The thing that was killing me, here's the white paper. Okay. I already showed in 3 days, it's going to get less. The miners are going to pay a lot more for electricity for Bitcoin Classic. In those same 3 days, BCC is going to drop difficultiness. I know that sounds complicated, but what's happened over the last, 4 days is you have been given an extra Bitcoin. For every Bitcoin you have a Bitcoin Cash. And if you read Satoshi's paper, which I always do before I talk, it's a manifesto. It's in plain English, by the way. It's worth a little bit of time just to read it. It's not complicated at all. It's to bank the unbanked. It's to take down Visa, MasterCard, Discover, all of them. It's all built in there. Incentives, chapter 4. It goes over Moore's law. I mean, bigger block size. It's 8 megabytes on this right here, right now. Point being is miners go where the money is. They don't care. It's a liken to you're digging for gold. you're spending $500 a day in gas. On your property line, the other half is, so let's say copper, but a crap load. As long as you get that copper out of there at a profit, it would be better to mine copper than it would be gold. Because there might be 100 ounces easy to get of copper right here, and half an ounce of gold, it's hard to get. I'm oversimplifying it, but that's about to happen because they think miners are agnostic. There's a site on profitable mining. I mean, they search this every day. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay. Did it just happen? This is the difficulty of, that's already happening as we speak. Okay, well, I'll double check that, but let's not get off base. At the same time, it's going to have and this guy's article shows what happens if literally just 30% of the Bitcoin mining power is switched over. I'm too bad it's not in video and real world. Let's see here. Sorry, I'm just trying to. I would love just to read this all to you because it's all so good. Just the BCC has been at its lowest somewhere around 1/12 of BTC and the highest at 1/12. The lowest value, we know that. Okay. Okay, here we are. Once the difficulty has settled at the correct level to match the current pricing, interesting things will start to happen. Initially, there might be fear of switching from BTC to BCC. You know what you have, right? This stalemate could persist as long as the two branches are working as intended. But BTC has experienced severe congestion the last year due to artificial restrictions imposed on the network. Alternatives for sending value have been experimented, seeping value over into other currencies, altcoins. Now a seamless option exists. Can't send your Bitcoins on the normal chain? Just send them to the alternative one that actually works. When the next congestion happens, value should flow from the natural option to the natural option that already is the third biggest cryptocurrency on the market. This was written like 4 days ago, on which you already have the same coin as the old coin. Forced change isn't the only way that the value transfer can happen. Speculators will gravitate towards the option that holds promise of the highest future value. You should judge the pros and cons of each. If the shifting of the value starts happening, it will probably be unstoppable, a self-fulfilling cycle that could start drawing miners' power over to BCC branch. First out of logical profit seeking, eventually out of fear. If the BCC surpasses BTC, you'd think the mining power would shift accordingly, just adapting to the new world. That's not how it works. As previously mentioned, the difficulty adjustment on BTC is symmetrical. This means that you need to expend the same amount of resources to bring down as you did to bring up. This has until now been considered a virtue, prevailing malicious miner behavior. The main problem with the symmetrical difficulty is that if BTC would ever lose a substantial amount of mining power, this vicious cycle would start. I should start here. It would even happen well before BCC became a dominating currency. Let's assume that BCC takes away just 30% of the mining power due to a better value proposition. Congestion would appear on BTC branch, and this could cause miners and investors to panic. They might assume that at this time it is very well could be permanent. A mass exodus to the safe option would happen almost instantaneously. Blocks on the BTC branch would not be confirmed, would become slower. If it would come to a grinding halt. I'm sorry. BTC would not go slower, it would come to a grinding halt. The branch would be dead within days or even hours. When worlds collide, it's technical, but it's not that technical. This is Bitcoin Cash right now. Look at the size of these. Remember, like a stock, for every buy there's a sell. Except anyone who's ever bought a micro stock or a small cap stock knows how thinly traded. You accidentally hit that market order instead of that limit order. There's 100. We've all done it. You know what I'm saying? You overpay. You have to slowly accumulate. This is very interesting. This to me is like above reproach. This goes right along with their character, giving everyone in Bitcoin a voucher, another token of BTC Cash. The ones that want to make it a settlement layer, a small block for just the big players and banks, the greedy, we're going to cash those in. And guess what? This shows that someone is buying them all up at a 10-to-1 discount. I mean, when does risk ratio come in here? I don't see anyone saying that this is not a superior product. Like that's what's tripping me out is look at this. This is bigger than Classic. These are all blocks have ever been. This is so dominant. This is draining the swamp. And what did Satoshi say is the most valuable resource on the planet is talent, and it's been taken by the financial, the bankers and whatnot, because of incentive. Literally over the last 7 years, thousands of countless jobs have been made on Bitcoin. And I can show you videos of farms from Ireland to China to everywhere across the nation, and developers, and just the way it was dispersed in the middle was like that collage you see. You know, when you remember in the mall and all these dots and you can't see it, and can't you see the boat in there? And you look at it, and you go, this is dumb. This is what the 2 + 2 is no, we can't. And then you start seeing it. It filters out all the greedy, the weird, and it just goes to the. Anyways, I'll stay agnostic on that. But at some point, instead of cashing in your Bitcoin 10-to-1 in reverse, you might want to think about either holding it or taking a portion of it and getting 10 times the value. Because there's another ace in the hole that we're not even talking about. Who is the biggest holder of Bitcoin by 10x? Satoshi. Right? So you bet if you're in Bitcoin Segway, you better hope he's on your side. He could single-handedly get 10x Bitcoin that you're selling him for pennies on the dollar. And read the white paper 100 times and see which one is his vision. So I'm sure I didn't miss anything. Okay, CoinDesk today has a good article by Jimmy Song, Bitcoin haters. Okay, you look that up. Let's go. Boom, the blocks are just accumulating. That's great. John Stuart Mill bit. It's worth the read. We all saw this. What was it? 3 days ago, the 390% less profitable, 100% the same difficulty as the original chain. Now it's down to 17. You see what's happening? It's almost dialed in. And once it gets dialed in, we'll see how loyal. I mean, there is no loyalty among miners. They're going to flip their ASIC miners over overnight. It's all mathematical. They don't care wherever gives them the most money. But anyways, I can see why they're being quiet. This is you do not want Wall Street in there. And here this proves the difficulty in the next 3 days. So I mean, I'm so good job, Bitcoin. You know, $3,200. That's awesome. You know, I'm not trying to rain on anyone's parade. I'm just there's so much media out there to sell off your vouchers for pennies on the dollar, and it's all about your outlook or what your I'm not gonna say morals, but what you want Bitcoin to be. Do you want it to serve the billions of unbanked at 2 cents a transaction? Or do you just looking at the money, just going, it's not broken? Remember, it is broken. 2 years ago, it was 2 cents, 90% of the market share. It filled up, that block filled up. And then you have an explosion of altcoins. Roger Ver is a man of character. All these guys are of the utmost character. They debated for 2 years. The Austrian, I can just going over just simple math over and over, just to release the block size like Satoshi wanted. So simple. And then finally they said, well, this will be an experiment. You know, we'll have it our way, you have it your way. And what's surprising is they just turned it off. I don't hear from any of them. I don't hear from Roger Ver. I don't hear from, you know, any of the big block people. They're sitting back and they're just buying these Bitcoin Cash, pennies on the dollar. Do you know? But anyways, this has gone long. So let's see how I push stop. Let's see if I could end with or go down memory lane for